So let us start, everyone. Listen to me. Page 34 in that concept application exercise 4. You should be knowing it, but let us do one by one. See here, everyone look at the screen. I have north, south, east, west, correct? Now, if I say go 20 degrees south of west, listen to me carefully. Look at me. If I say go 20 degree south of west, means you should start from west and you should go towards south 20 degrees. So this will be 20 degrees south of west. Agree? You started from west, you went towards south by 20 degree. Therefore, can I say this particular thing is 20 degrees south of west? Now, tell me, what do you pronounce this as?
60° north of east.
60 degree north of east. Can I say 60 degree north of east? Okay. What is this?
10° west of north.
20 degree west of north. 20 degree west of north. Correct, Nikhil. Now, if the angle is 45 degree, can I say from both sides it will be 45 degree? Because this
Yes,
angle
sir.
is 90 degree. Therefore, this line is called northeast. Easy. This line is called northeast. If it is 45 degree. Can I say this line is called northwest? Can I say this line is called southwest?
West,
Yes.
Southeast.
southeast.
Easy.
Yes.
Easy. Yeah. Now, tell me what should be the answer for question number 1 in concept application exercise 4. What should be the answer for question number 1?
30
Look at the
degree
question.
north of east.
A1.
Represent the direction 30
A.
degree east of north. What we will do?
Sir,
Hmm?
sir, A1 is the answer.
I cannot hear you.
Sir, I'm saying A1 is the correct.
Sir,
A1
B1.
is
Sir, B1.
B1.
okay. What we'll do? Listen. What we will do? We will not look at the options. We'll look at the question and we'll try to draw and we'll see our answer matches with which option. Okay, easy. Now look at the screen. 30 degree east of north means I should start from north and I should go 30 degree towards east. That is why my line will be like this, 30 degree. This is 30 degree east of north. Now, tell me, which option is the right answer?
B.
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 Answer will be B because it is 30 degree east of north. Now, my question to you is, okay, answer is B. Now tell me, all of you, put your answer in the message box. What is A called? Now, B is called 30 degree east of north, correct? Now, what is A called? The diagram A is called 30 degree. Very good, Nikhil. Nikhil, Samarth, Anuj, Saish, Rajiv, Priyanshu, Soumya. Correct. Option A will be called 30 degree north of east. Correct. Now, what is option C called? What is option C called? Correct, Nikhil. Others think about it. What can option C be called? (30° west of north. Correct. Option C will be called 30° west of north. Correct. Option C will be called 30° west of north. Correct. Okay. Now come to the second question. Tell me what should be the answer?
Sir,
A.
A.
Represent the northeast direction. That means there should be a line which is equidistant from north and equidistant from east. That is 45-degree line. Therefore, can I say option A is the right answer for northeast direction? Option A is the right answer. Now
Yes.
tell me what is option B called. Tell me what is option B called.
30 degree
30 degree north of east.
Option B will be called 30 degree north of east. Correct. Option B will be called 30 degree north of east. Option C and option D are not relevant anyway. Okay. Understood? Question number 2. Now start question number 3. Now start question number 3.
Sir, option B.
B.
Represent the direction along 60 degree south of west. 60
Sir,
degree, 60 degrees south of west. Which option? 60 degrees south of west.
B.
60 degrees south of west. Option is B, correct? Now tell me, what is A called? What is option A called in question?
60 degree north of west.
60 degree north of west.
60 degree north of west. And option C?
60 degree west of south.
60 degree west of south. Understood these questions? Easy.
Yes.
Now go to question number 4 and tell me what should be the answer.
Sir, option A.
A.
Option A is correct. Southwest.
Yes.
Now tell me, what is option B called?
60 degree west of south.
60 degree west of south. Correct. Option C?
Sir,
Northwest.
northwest.
Correct. It is called northwest. Don't say 45 degree north of west. Even that is correct. But the way to say it is northwest. And option D, none of the above. Therefore, can I say these 4 questions now? Anytime you get any direction or you get any line, can you be in a position to answer it? Easy. Can I say this is clear, all of you? Yes, perfect. Now, your homework 1 will be triangle law of vector addition. You need to write. It was there in your 10th also. Triangle law of vector addition. And second homework, you have to write parallelogram law of vector addition. One is you have to write triangle law of vector addition. And the next one you should write is parallelogram law of vector addition. It can be found on Google, it can be found in your textbook, it can be found in your module. Okay, very common law, universal law. The first homework is triangle law of vector addition, and the second law is parallelogram law of vector addition. Okay, now everyone come to page number 36. Everyone come to page number 36. Everyone come to page number 36. Now, very important formula I am going to write on the screen. Very important formula I am going to write on the screen. One is if there are 2 vectors, A vector and B vector, please look at the screen. How do I get the resultant of the 2 vectors? And that formula is given on page number 36 also. The resultant is given in the form of square root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. It will be given as square root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Please make a note of this particular resultant. Resultant is equal to square root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Square root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. I want every one of you to switch on your cam. Quick. And the angle formula will be tan alpha. Please make a note. The angle formula will be tan alpha is equal to D sin theta divided by A plus B cos theta. The angle formula will be this. Now remember, this is your formula for resultant of a vector. This is your formula for angle of a vector. Please make a note very carefully. You will anyway learn the derivation in the 11th standard part. But now I want you to remember the result. Please make a note of this, where A and B are the two vectors. Written resultant is equal to square root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, and tan alpha is equal to b sin theta by a plus b cos theta. Okay, now come to page number 38. Come to page number 38. In that, now everyone please concentrate in the problems. What we are doing on this page, very important problems. I'll
Sir,
explain to
number?
you step by step. I'll explain to you step by step. And once I explain to you, and once I show you the answer, after that, even if you have not understood, let me know. I want everyone to understand. Okay, someone was saying something?
Sir, page number?
Page number 38. Everyone come to page number 38.
Okay.
Come to illustration 44. Come to illustration 44 and tell me what should be the answer for this particular thing. Illustration 44. Read the question, read the answer, and after that I'll also do it on the screen. Okay, start. Okay, now look at the screen. I have also written it. I have also written on the screen. Now, okay, I'll give you some more time. Finish it, then I'll also explain. Okay, finish it, then I'll also explain.
Okay, sir.
Correct, Nikhil. It will only give us the magnitude. If you want the other part, that is the angle, you have to use tan alpha formula. Correct, Nikhil. What you said is correct. This will only give us the magnitude. Okay, stop. Now look at the screen. Now look at the screen. I'll explain. Tell me if you understand. Every one of you has to understand very clearly. Now please look at the screen. The greatest and the least resultant of two forces. Greatest will always come when you add the two vectors, and the least will come when you subtract the two vectors. Now they are saying the greatest force of two vectors is 10. That means when I add the two vectors, I get my answer 10. Please look at the screen. And when I subtract, I get 6. Therefore, can I say from the first sentence, I can write a plus b is equal to 10 and a minus b is equal to 6. Now, if I solve these two equations, can I say I will get a equal to 8 and b equal to 2? All of you got this much first?
Yes.
Okay, so when you add a plus b, you get 10, and when you subtract a minus b, you get 6. This way, when I solve for a and b, I get a is equal to 8 and I get b is equal to 2. Correct? Now what they are saying is, if each force is increased by 3 Newton, that means 8, if I increase it by 3, can I say my new value of a will be 11? And b, which is 2, if I increase it by 3, I can say my new value of b is 5. Therefore, my old value of a was 8, my new value is 11 because it is increased by 3. My old value of b is 2, my new value of b is 5 because it is increased by 3.
Yes.
Then you have to find the resultant. Stop. You have to find the resultant. Now I know the formula for resultant. What is the formula? R is equal to square root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. Do I know the value of a? Yes. Do I know the value of b? Yes. Do I know the value of theta? Is theta given in the question? Yes.
Yes.
Theta is given as 90.
90
And
degrees.
can I say cos 90 is 0? So since cos 90 is
Yes,
0,
sir.
can I say this whole term will become 0?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And since this whole term becomes 0, I am just left with r is equal to square root of a square plus b square.
Yes.
Pythagoras.
Now, a is 11 square, that is 121. B square is 5 square, that is 25. For I will get the answer as square root of 146 Newton. Now, in your JEE exam or in your MHCP exam, you will get option 141, 142, 148, 146 like that. So this will be the right option. So my intention is, first, listen to me. You have to understand how do you get these two equations from the question. That is the first thing you should understand. Second thing you should understand is how do I get the value of a and b. Third thing, after increasing by whatever they have given, I should get the new value of a and b. Fourth, you should know what is the formula for resultant. Fifth, you should know what is the value for cos 90. So many things you're supposed to know. Only if you know all these things, you will get the final answer. If you fall short in any one, you will not get the right answer. Looks easy, but if you make a mistake in any one step, it is wrong. Now, my question to you is, did you guys understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. I'll be recording and I'll be giving you the entire playlist also of my entire whatever classes we have done till now. So anytime you can go back to my recording and check it on YouTube. I'll give you the playlist once the chapter is over. So from the first class, differentiation, integration, vectors, dot product, cross product, you can go through again. Okay, so this will also be there in the video. So whenever you want, you can come back.
Sir, can
Okay?
you explain why you took 11 and 5, not 8 and 2?
Yeah, because in the question they have said, see the second sentence in the question, if each force is increased by 3 Newton, Then I have to find the resultant of the new force. That means I have to add by 3. That is what they had mentioned in the question.
Okay, sir.
Now, all of you start illustration 45. Start illustration 45. I think my screen sharing has stopped. I will come back.
No, sir, it's
It's there.
yes. Now it went.
I'll come. Everyone start illustration 45 in the meantime. Okay, stop. Now let me show it to you. You need some time, take some time, then I will start. If you need some time, take it, then I will show it on the screen. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, let us start now. See here, two equal forces have their resultant equal to either. That means, look at this. Vector A, vector B, and the result. All three are equal. That is what they are saying from the question. and I will take that as some force F. I'll repeat. They are saying vector A, vector B, and the resultant. All three have the same value. I will take it as value F. Now, what is the formula for my resultant? What is the formula of my resultant? My formula is R equal to square root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. R is equal to square root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Therefore, R is nothing but F. Correct? R is nothing but F is equal to square root of. What is A? A is also F. F square plus B is also F. F square plus 2 into F into F cos theta. This is what they are asking us. And they are asking us at what angles are they inclined. That means I have to find the value of theta. Now I will do it step by step. From here it is pure maths. Okay, from here it is pure maths. Please look at the screen. Therefore, can I say F equal to square root of F square plus F square, can I say will be 2F square plus 2F square cos theta. All of you agree with this step, what I have done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, F is equal to square root of 2F square is common in both the terms. I will take 1 plus cos theta.
Yes.
Everyone clear?
Got it.
Now, F square, if I remove it outside the square root, F square, if I remove it outside the square root, please look at the screen. If I remove F square outside the square root, can I say it will only be F?
Yes.
Can I say F
Yes, sir.
as it is inside the square root 2 into 1 plus cos theta? Now, can I say F and F will cancel? Therefore, I can get 1 is equal to square root of 2 into 1 plus cos theta. Clear, all of you understood?
Yes.
Okay. Now what I need to do, I need to get the value of theta. Now to get the value of theta, I will square both sides. If I square both sides, please look at the screen. 1 square will remain as 1 itself, equal to square root and square will cancel. It will become 2 into 1 plus cos theta. Clear?
Yes.
So 2, if I take it on other side, it will become half is equal to 1 plus cos theta. So half minus 1 is equal to cos theta. Half minus 1 is equal to cos theta. Half minus 1 is minus half is equal to cos theta. Now cos of which angle is minus half? Cos of 120. Cos of 120 is minus half. Therefore, can I say instead of minus half, I will write cos of 120 is equal to cos theta. Therefore, theta will be equal to 120 degree. Tell me, all of you understood this or not? It is pure maths. It is pure maths.
Yes, sir.
We did it step by step, and I did many steps. You can skip some steps and get the answer as well. But you should know that cos of which angle is minus half. If you don't know that, then you're stuck again. Answer is 120. Clear? Okay. Now, start with illustration 46. Start with illustration 46. Start with illustration 46. Shall I start? Okay, first you guys do it, then I will start. Okay, first you guys do it. Okay, time up. Now listen. Two forces whose magnitude are in the ratio 3:5. Please listen to me and please listen to the mistake what people make. Two forces are in the ratio 3:5, correct? Now, many times when I write this, you know what students say? Look at me, look at me. They say A is 3, B is 5. Direct. If the ratio is 3:5, does not mean A is 3 and B is 5. Please remember that. I'll tell you why. Okay. For example, just listen. Okay. For example, you got 30 marks in the exam, 30, and your friend got 60 marks in the exam. Okay. How much you got? 30. How much your friend got? 60. So can I say the ratio of your marks are 1:2? Agree?
Yes. Yes.
That does not mean you got 1 and he got 2. Now you're understanding the relation. When
Ha.
I say your marks and your friend's marks are in the ratio 1:2, does not mean you got 1 and he got 2. It means that he got 2 times more than you. Similarly, when I say two things are in the ratio 3:5, it does not mean that the first is 3 and second is 5. It is a ratio. That means I can assume the first thing is 3 into something and the second thing is 5 into something. Understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so don't blindly say, even in future when they say two things are in the ratio 3:4, don't assume that the first thing is 3 and the second thing is 4. It is very wrong to assume. I hope you understood the student and marks example. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what they are saying, I am assuming the first force is 3x. I am assuming the second force is 5x. Okay. Then the resultant is also given as 28. Okay, which is very good. And the angle is also given as 60 degrees.
60 degrees.
I have to find A and B. I have to find A and B. Means I have to find first the value of x and then I have to find A and B. So tell me what is the formula for resultant. Now the formula for resultant are, again can I use the same formula? It is
Yes.
square root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Now what is R given as resultant? Resultant is given as 28 is equal to square root of A square is 3x square plus b square is 5x square plus 2 into 3x into 5x cos 60. Tell me what is the value of cos 60? Can I directly write half? Can I directly write the value of cos 60 as half?
Yes,
Therefore,
sir.
now my left hand side will be 28 itself, and my right hand side will be square root of 3x the whole square is 9x square plus 5x the whole square is 25x square, correct? Plus
Yes.
3 into 2, 6. 6 into
15x
5,
square.
30, correct? 3 into 2, 6. 6 into 5, 30. X into x, x square. 30x square by 2, can I write it as
15x square.
30
Yes.
by 2 is 15x square. Now, can I write it as 28 is equal to 25 plus 9, 34. 34 plus 15 is 49x square. Correct?
Yes.
Or 28 is equal to square root of 49 is 7. Square root of x square is x. Therefore, x is equal to 28 by 7. 7, 14, 21, 28. X is equal to 4. So the first thing I got is x is equal to 4. Now I know that A, I have assumed it to be 3x.
Yes.
And B, I have assumed it to be 5x. Therefore, 3x will be 3 into 4, so it will be 12.
12.
And 5 into 4
20.
will be 20. Therefore, the answer will be 12 and 20. Tell me if all of you are getting this answer.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now if you notice illustration 44, illustration 45, illustration 46. All of them use the same formula for resultant. Just check. R is equal to square root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. But all had different logics. But the formula was the same. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, come to page number 40. Come to page number 40. Concept application exercise 5. In that, question number 1 is your next homework. Concept application exercise 5, page number 40. In that, question number 1 is your homework. Next page, page number 41. Question number 7 is your next homework. Now, question number 9. Question number 7, page number 41 is your next homework. Now, question number 9, I will not do it. Can you start immediately right now and tell me the answer? Question number 9. Start question number 9, page number 41. Start question number 9. All of you try to solve it. answer I think will be option D. Tell me, are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
All of you are getting as option D. Check.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can I go to the next topic? Everyone, I hope, has got the answer as D. Sure.
Yes.
No. Components of a vector. Next topic is components of a vector. Now listen to me. If I have any vector, look at the screen. If I have any vector A, please look at the screen. I can split this vector into horizontal component and I can split this vector into vertical component. Horizontal component is always AX, means x-axis. Vertical component is AY, which is y-axis. Clear? And the formula is the horizontal component is always A cos theta and the vertical component is always A sin theta. Horizontal component is always A cos theta and the vertical component is always A sin theta. Therefore, if I take any vector, I can split it into two components. What are the two components? One is your horizontal component and one is your vertical component. Horizontal component is vector cos theta and it is denoted by AX, means x-axis. And vertical component is AY, it is denoted as A sin theta. Okay, therefore, please look at the screen again. So if I have a vector A, I can split it into horizontal component, which is AX, and I can split it into vertical component, which is AY. And AX is nothing but A cos theta. Cos theta is always horizontal component. And vertical component AY is nothing but A sin theta. So this is your answer. Written? Clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now with this logic, try to solve illustration 51. Page number, what is the page number? Page number 41. Page number 41. Illustration 51. Start solving. Stop. Now, a force of 15 Newton acts on the box as shown in the middle. So look at this. Force is 15 Newton. Okay. I'll tell you, you don't need to simplify it further. You can keep it as it is. What are the horizontal and vertical components of the force? Now look at the screen. Now the horizontal component of the force Fx will be F cos theta, and the vertical component of the force Fy will be equal to F sin theta, correct? The horizontal component will be F cos theta and the vertical component will be F sin theta. Now look at the question. In the question, is the angle given? Angle is given 60 degree. Therefore, can I say my Fx, my horizontal component Fx will be force is given as 15 cos 60 and Fy, my vertical component is given as 15 sin 60, correct? Now, what is 15 cos 60? That can I say it is 15 into half. Now 15 into half is 7.5 Newton. So can I say horizontal component is 7.5 Newton and vertical component is 15 sin 60. Now 15 sin 60, I will do it over here. 15 into sin 60 is root 3 by 2. 2 ones are 2, 7.5s are correct. Now 7.5 into root 3. What is root 3? 1.7. 7.5 into 1.7 will give me almost 13 or 12.99. Okay. Did you understand this question, all of you?
Yes,
So,
sir.
horizontal component
Yes, sir.
is, so main thing that you need to remember in this is these two formulas. If you remember these two formulas, then the question becomes very easy. If you remember these two formulas, then the question becomes very, very easy. Okay. On the page. Come to illustration 52. Don't go to simplify, just get the equation and keep. Don't go to simplify, just get the equation and keep. Start. Illustration 52, page number 42. Illustration 52, page number 42. Okay, now listen. A person in a wheelchair is moving up a ramp at constant speed. The total weight is 900 Newton. Please look at the screen. Now the total weight is 900 Newton. The ramp makes an angle of 37 degree. Ramp makes an angle of 37 degree with the horizontal. Calculate parallel and perpendicular. That means calculate the horizontal component and calculate the vertical component. Now tell me, what is the formula for horizontal component? Wx is equal to W cos theta. And what is Wy? Wy will be W sin theta. Now, So Wx will be equal to W is 900 cos 37. Leave it like that. Don't go to simplify. And what is Wy? It will become 900 sin 37. Are you getting clear? If you're getting clear, stop it. This is the right answer. All of
Yeah.
you clear?
Yes, sir.
Start with illustration 53. Page number 42 itself, illustration 53. Okay, now listen to me. Not that easy, not that tough. Try to understand the logic. What they are saying, the particle is moving with the velocity of 100 meter per second. Therefore, please look at the screen. The velocity that the particle is moving with is 100. If one of the rectangular components of velocity, one of the rectangular components means I'll take horizontal component. If horizontal component is 50, stop. From this data, what can we find out? Now, please look at the screen. Can I say the formula is Vx is equal to V cos theta? Tell me, do you know this formula? Vx is V cos theta. Vx is 50. V is 100 cos theta. Or can I say 50 by 100 is equal to cos theta, or half is equal to cos theta? So cos of which angle is half? Can I say theta equal to 60 degree? Therefore, can I say from these two data that they had given, I on my own found out that theta is equal to 60 degree, correct? Now I got theta equal to 60 degree. Now continue the question. Find the other component of velocity. Find the other component of velocity. Please look at the screen. The other component of velocity I want to find is Vy. Tell me, what is the formula for Vy? Formula for Vy will be V sin theta.
Yes.
So what is V? Is it given? Yes. 100. Is theta given? Yes. It is sin 60. Therefore, can I say it will be 100 sin 60? What is sin 60? Sin 60
Root 3
is
by 2.
root 3 by 2. 100 into root 3 by 2, 2 ones are 250s are. Therefore, can I say the other component, that is the vertical component, is 50 root 3. This is how you get the answer. It is direct, but you have to do it step by step. Clear, all of you? Clear? Okay, that is good. Illustration 54, page number 42. Start. Next question. Illustration 54.
Sir, done.
Got it, all of you? Okay. Now let me read the question. The question is, an aeroplane takes off at an angle of 60 degree with the horizontal. Therefore, can I say it takes off at an angle of 60 degree with the horizontal? Correct? It takes off
Yes.
at an angle of 60 degree with the horizontal. If the velocity of the plane is 200 kilometer per hour, if the velocity of the plane is 200 kilometer per hour, calculate the horizontal and vertical component of velocity. The horizontal component is Vx and vertical component is Vy. What is the horizontal component of velocity? Vx is equal to V cos theta, and vertical component Vy is equal to V sin theta. Horizontal component Vx is equal to V cos theta, vertical component Vy is equal to V sin theta. Therefore, Vx is equal to 200 cos 60 and Vy will be equal to 200 sin 60. Now, 200 cos 60 is nothing but 200 into half. Can I say that is 100? And 200 sin 60 is nothing but 200 into root 3 by 2. So 2 ones are 2 hundreds are. Therefore, can I say the vertical component is 100 root 3? Therefore, can I say this is one of the answer and this is second answer? Tell me if you're getting this answer as your answers.
Yes.
Just check. Are you getting these answers as your answer? Let me know. All of you are getting it perfect. Okay, good. Now, the next topic is called unit vector. The next topic is called as unit vector. The next topic is called as unit vector. Next topic is called as unit vector. Now, all of you look at the screen. Now, unit vector is easily given by the formula. Check. Unit vector, this is the notation, A cap. And how do you get unit vector? Unit vector is nothing but a vector divided by the magnitude of that vector. That is called your unit vector. What is a unit vector? It is nothing but a vector divided by the magnitude of that vector. It is a vector divided by the magnitude of that vector. Is it clear? Therefore, for example, I hope everyone knows how to find the magnitude of that vector. How to find the magnitude of the vector? Square root of x square component plus y square component plus z square component. I hope everyone is aware. Now, using the same logic, try to solve page number 44, illustration 56. Using the same logic, try to solve illustration 56. Try to solve illustration 56 from page number 44. From page number 44. Start. Okay, now let me tell you the answers. Everyone listen. Find the unit vector of a vector, and the vector is given as a vector is equal to 2i plus 3j plus 2k. I have to find unit vector. Now, I know the formula for unit vector is a vector by mod of a vector. Now, how do I find mod of a vector? Which concept we have already done, that is the mod of the vector. Can I say it will be 2 square plus 3 square plus 2 square? Correct. Therefore, can I say 2 square is 4 plus 9 plus 4 will be root of 17. Everyone getting mod of a vector is root of 17. Therefore, a vector by mod of a vector will be 2i plus 3j. I think my screen broadcasting has stopped 1 minute.
Yes.
Is it back?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it is 2i plus 3j plus 2k divided by root 17. This is the unit vector. Unit vector is a cap. Now let me tell you one more thing. Okay. Now, let me tell you one more thing. It is not a part of this question, but let me tell you one more thing. Now, let me write it again, okay? 2i plus 3j plus 2k upon root 17. Okay, now everyone look at the screen, okay? I'm telling you something. Look at the screen. So, see here. Now, can I say x-axis component is 2 by root 17, correct? What is
Yes.
y-axis component? 3 by root 17. And what is z-axis component?
2 by root
2
17.
by root 17. Now, these are called direction cosines. Means this is called as cos alpha. This is called as cos beta. And this is called as cos gamma. That you will learn it in maths also. But I'm just telling you that these are called direction cosines. X-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So if they say find the direction cosines, you have to find unit vector only. But in that, you have to separate x-axis component, y-axis component, and z-axis. Is it fine? And what is the meaning of unit vector? Unit vector is something whose magnitude is 1. That I will do it when the problem comes. Now tell me illustration 56. Is it clear, all of you? Is
Yes,
illustration 56 clear? Clear? Okay. Now start with illustration 57. Start with illustration 57. That is on page number 44 itself. Start. Look at the question. Find the unit vector of a vector plus b vector, where a vector is nothing but 2i minus j plus 3k, and b vector is 3i minus 2j minus 2k. Now I have to find unit vector of a vector plus b vector. Now can I say I will take that vector as a separate vector c vector, which is a vector plus b vector. Now what is a vector plus b vector? Tell me. It is 2i plus 3i. It will become 5i. Minus j minus 2j will become minus 3j.
Plus k.
And plus 3k minus 2k will be plus k.
Okay.
Now I have to find the unit vector of c vector. Now c vector, c cap will be c vector by mod of c vector, correct? Now
Yes.
c vector I know is 5i minus 3j plus k itself upon. Now mod of c vector will be square root of 25 plus 9 plus 1,
Plus
correct?
1. Yes, 35.
So can I say that will be square root of 35? That's it.
Yes.
That is my answer. Tell me if all of you are getting it. Yes or no?
Yes.
Clear? Easy?
Yes.
Okay. Now start with question number 58. Illustration 58. Start. Time. Okay, now listen. Illustration 58, page number 44. Let me tell you the concept. Now, given a vector is equal to, now please look at the screen. Now, they have given a vector is equal to 0.3i plus 0.4j plus ck. Calculate the value of c if a is a unit vector. If a is a unit vector, please look at the screen. If a is a unit vector, that means mod of a will be equal to 1. Please look at me. If a is a unit vector, then mod of a will be 1. That means mod of a, that is 0.3 square plus 0.4 square plus c square should be equal to 1. Correct?
Sir, why
So now,
only
if you look
one?
at the, I cannot hear. What is it?
Sir, why one only?
So can someone repeat what he's saying? I cannot hear.
Sir, he's asking why one only.
Yeah, because it is said that it is a unit vector. What is the meaning of unit? One. Unity. One.
Okay, okay,
Since
okay.
it's
Sir,
a
got
unit
it.
vector, it is 1. Okay. The meaning of
Okay, got
unity is 1. Okay. Now, 0.3 square, if I take it Before that, what I'll do is I will square both sides. If I square both sides, can I say left hand side will become 0.3 square plus 0.4 square plus c square equal to 1 square. 1 square is 1 itself.
Yes.
1 square is 1 itself. Now 0.3 square will be 0.09 plus 0.4 square will be 0.16 plus c square will be equal to 1, or c square will be equal to 1 minus blah blah blah. You will get answer as 0.87. I'm not doing it. I'm hoping you have got it. Is it fine? Did you
Yes.
understand the logic? Therefore, can I say the value of c is 0.87? Tell me, did you understand this problem, all of you? Clear? Okay. Now let us go to one step higher, and this is little complicated. Not that complicated, but you need to be little aware of the concepts. That is the next problem. That is illustration 59. Start solving illustration 59, all of you. Page number 44, illustration 59. Start. Page number 44. Illustration 59. Start solving. I'll give you one more minute to solve. Then I will show you. Very important question. Not that tough. Okay. If you read the wordings carefully, you will be able to get the answer. Okay, now listen to the question. Okay, now I am solving it. Everyone switch on your cam so that I can see you. The question is, determine that vector which when added to the resultant of A and B. That means they have given one vector which is A vector. What is A vector? 3i minus 5j plus 7k, and B vector is equal to 2i plus 4j minus 3k. Now, if I take the resultant, that is A plus B, please look at the screen. What is the resultant of A plus B? Let me take it as C vector. Let me take it as C vector. Now, what is 3 plus 2?
5i.
5i minus j. Minus 5 plus 4 is minus j. And 7 minus 3 is plus 4k. Now, can I say this is the resultant of A and B? Please listen to the question
Yes.
now. Determine that vector which when added to the resultant of this. So let me add one vector which I don't know, that is plus x vector, which is added to the resultant of A vector and B vector, gives you unit vector along y direction. Unit means 1. Y
Yes.
direction, can I say, is j. I is x-axis, j is y-axis,
Right.
k is z-axis. Correct? Now, 5i minus j plus 4k plus x vector equal to j. Therefore, what is the answer for x vector? So keep everything on one side and keep x on the other side. Therefore, I'll take 5 on the other side. It will become minus 5i plus j minus 4k plus j, which was already there on the right hand side before.
Yes.
Correct? So can I say my x vector will be minus 5i, correct?
Plus 2j
Plus j will be plus 2j
minus 4k.
minus 4k. Can I say this is my answer for x
Yes.
vector? This is my answer. Got it, all of you? Therefore, if you see on your screen, in your module actually, page 44, all 4 examples, 56, 57, 58, 59. Tell me if all of them are clear.
Clear,
56,
sir.
57,
sir.
58, 59. Correct? All are clear?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, come to page number 51. Come to page number 51. In that, there is something called Lami's theorem. Can you check page number 51? There is something called Lami's theorem. That will be your next homework to learn it. And after learning it, you have to solve illustration 68. That is your combo homework. First, you have to learn Lami's theorem, and then you have to solve illustration 68. All of you, be ready. Okay. Now, listen to me. The next topics are dot product and cross product. That I think we have already done it. Dot product and
Yes,
cross
sir.
product. We have already done it.
Yes, sir.
Now let us do questions from objective type so that we are familiar with this topic. And we will start. Okay, so all come to page number 74. Everyone come to page number 74. Page number 74. In that, come to objective type. In that, question number 1. As and when we come to the question, I will tell you the logic for that question. Okay, till 6 o'clock, how many ever we can, we will do it. Okay, so first you try to get some answer, then I will solve it for you on the screen. Question number 1. I'll give you 30-second more and then we will start. Okay, now listen. The vector projection of a vector 3i plus 4k on the y-axis is. Now everyone look at the screen. Can I say this is your x-axis component?
Yes.
This is your z-axis component.
Yes.
Can I say there is no y-axis component? Can I say y-axis component is not there? Therefore, can I say answer has to be 0?
Yes.
Now, if the same question was what is the projection on the x-axis, can I say answer would be 3?
Yes.
And projection on the z-axis would be
4.
Understood? This is the logic. But since there is no y component, so again let me repeat, I component means x-axis, j component means y-axis, k component means z-axis. So this is your logic. Clear? So answer for this particular case will be D. Everyone clear with this answer? Okay. Now, second question, start. Page 74. Okay, time up. Now listen. The position of a particle in a rectangular coordinate system is here 3, 2, 5. Then the position vector will be. Now, can I say this is your x-axis component, correct? So can I say x-axis component means I component, therefore it will be 3i. So 2 will be your y-axis component, y will be j, therefore this will become 2j. And 5 is your z-axis component, which will be k, and this will be 5k. Therefore, my position vector will be 3i plus 2j plus 5k. As simple as that. Just check which option is matching. Just check which option is matching. I think option B is matching. Did you understand? It is direct. So this is your x-axis component I, this is your y-axis component J, and this is your z-axis component K. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Now start with the third question. The clue I can give you for the third question is displacement is nothing but final position minus initial position. What is the formula for displacement from your high school? Formula for displacement is final position minus initial position. That is the clue I give you.
Yes, sir.
Start, then I will also solve it. Answer. Now listen. If a particle moves from a point P of 2, 3, 5 to a point Q of 3, 4, 5, what will be the displacement vector? Now, can I say displacement will be final position minus initial position? So final position will be 3 minus 2. It will be 1 along x-axis 1i. 4 minus 3 will be again 1.
J.
Plus 1j or only j, and 5 minus 5 will be 0. Therefore 0k. Therefore answer will be I plus j. Which option is matching?
E.
Option C is matching. So it is final position minus initial position. So 3 minus 2 along x-axis is 1. 4 minus 3 along y-axis is also 1. And 5 minus 5 is 0 along z-axis. Therefore you're left only with I plus j. Therefore, your option is C. Is it clear? Okay. Now, question number 4, question number 5, question number 6, take it as your homework. Question number 4, question number 5, question number 6, take it as your homework. And all of you start solving question number 7. All of you start solving question number 7. listen to this. I told you about the direction cosine when I was doing the unit vectors, right? So now first let us find the unit vector of this vector. Therefore, a vector is given as 2i plus 4j minus 5k. Correct? This is your a vector. Now let me find a cap. Please look at the screen. Let me find a cap. Now a cap will be a vector upon mod of a vector. Correct. Now a vector will be 2i plus 4j minus 5k itself upon mod of a vector will be square root of 2 square 4 plus square root of 4 square 16 plus square root of 5 square 25. So 16 plus 4 20, 20 plus 25 is 45. Therefore, can I say my unit vector a cap is 2i plus 4j minus 5k upon square root of 45. Therefore, can I say, look at this, 2 by root 45 is cos alpha, 4 by root 45 is cos beta, and minus 5 by root 45 is cos gamma. These are the three direction cosines that I have. Therefore, which option matches this? Option A is the right answer. Just check. I have written the whole problem on a single page. Tell me if you have understood this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Correct? If I had asked what is the unit vector, then then our answer would be this itself. Correct? Directly.
Yes.
Now, question number 9. Question number 9, that is on the next page, page number 75. Page number 75, question number 9. Start. Ball has dimension x, y, z and diametrically opposite. What is the magnitude of the displacement? Magnitude means resultant, square root of x square plus y square plus z square. That is the clue. Now up to you. Start. Okay, now listen to me. A ball has a dimension, the hall has a dimension 10, 12, 14. That means x, y, z. Therefore, the resultant will be square root of x square plus y square plus z square. Correct? It will have this dimension. Now, what is it? It will be 10 square plus 12 square plus 14 square. Correct? Therefore, can I say it will be square root of 100 plus 144 plus what is 14 square?
96.
256.
14 square is 256.
196.
Sorry, 196.
15 square is 225. How 14 square is 256? 1,
196.
correct. So now solve this. What is 196 plus 100? 296. 296 plus 144. Start.
440.
Getting this?
Sir,
Sir,
440.
440.
40.
Sir, 440.
Sir, the addition, the sum will be 440.
Correct?
Yes.
Now, square root of 440 is approximately equal to how much? Check the options.
20.
Can I say square root of 440 is
Approximately 20.
approximately equal to 21 or 22? Check.
Yes.
Check. Now, which option is closest to 21, 22?
20.
20.
But actual answer will be 21 point something. Check.
Yes.
Okay. Now, question number, 1 minute. Question number 11, take it as your next homework. Question number 11, take it as your next homework. Question number 12, start solving. Question number 12, start solving. What the answer? Anyone? See here, the expression 1 by root 2i plus 1 by root 2j. Now find the magnitude of this. Now how do I find the magnitude of this? Please look at the screen. I will find the magnitude by square root of I square. That is 1 by root 2 square plus j square. Correct. Now please tell me what is this? 1 square is 1, root 2 square is 2, plus 1 square is 1, root 2 square is 2. Can I say square root of half plus half is square root of 1? Square root of 1 is 1. So can I say if the magnitude is 1, then it is a unit vector. Therefore, I can directly say answer is A. Just check because the magnitude of the vector is unity. The magnitude of the vector is unity. Therefore, can I directly conclude that it is a unit vector? It is not a null vector because my answer is 0. It is not a vector of magnitude root 2 because I got the magnitude as 1. It is not a scalar because in the question itself I and j is given. Therefore, option D is definitely not the answer. Between A, B, and C, I got the magnitude as 1. A vector with the magnitude 1 is a unit vector. Did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Clear? Now, Question number 13. Start. Question number 13. So let it be a vector, I cap plus j cap. Now, what is the formula for unit vector? Unit vector is vector upon mod of the same vector. Now start. Okay, now look at this. The expression is unit 13th one. Now, can I say this will become I cap plus j cap divided by mod of a vector will be 1 square plus 1 square. Therefore, a cap will be I plus j divided by root 2 because 1 square plus 1 square is root 2.
C.
Therefore, answer is I plus j by root 2. Therefore, answer will be C. Tell me, are you getting this answer as C?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, last one for today. Last one for today. And that is question number 14. Finish 14, then we'll stop for today. Start. Question number 14. A vector is represented by 3i plus j plus 2k. Its length in the xy plane is. Start. Its length in the xy plane is. Length in the xy plane means what is the resultant in the xy plane? What is the resultant in the xy plane? Means you have to ignore z and you have to just take xy plane. So can I say if I ignore z, I don't have to take this. I just have to take this. Therefore, resultant in the xy plane will be r is equal to the total length in the xy plane will be r is equal to square root of 3 square plus 1 square. I did not take plus 2 square because z is not to be taken because in the question they have asked only xy plane. Therefore, this will not be considered. Therefore, can I say R will be equal to square root of 3
Nine.
square is 9
Plus 1
1 square is 1.
under root
Therefore,
10.
my total
C.
root 10. Now, root 10 is which option? Option C. Just check. Root 10 is option C. Are you getting it?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Question 15, question 16, question 17 is your homework. 15, 16, 17 is your homework. 18th one also you can do it. Take it as your homework. 15, 16, 17, 18. Once look at 18th one and tell me, can you manage? Just look at 18th one. Don't solve it. Just let me know if you can manage.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
We have done a similar example problem. Square
Yes,
root of x square plus y square plus z square equal to 1.
Yes, sir.
With that, we stop for today. I will see you next week. Next week, we'll complete this foundation and we'll go to the next module, that is units and measurements. Okay. So I will see you next week. Thank you all of
Sir.
you.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
1 minute. Let me stop the recording.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye bye.